Hello, in this video, I want to share with you why you should not do joint ventures in property. That might sound a bit controversial, and I got a bit of a caveat to it, but that's what this video is all about. So my name is Simon Zutshi. I'm the author of Property Magic, the Amazon #1 property bestseller. I'm the founder of the Property Investors Network, and I've been investing for the last 25 years. Now, let me be really honest here. I've done a lot of joint ventures. Some of them have been amazing. I've been able to achieve more working with other people than I would do on my own. I've also had some joint ventures that haven't worked very well. And that's my fault because maybe I've not picked the right people, we've not communicated properly. So whilst joint ventures can be incredible, you need to make sure you do them in the right way. I hear too many horror stories. But what I really want to explain on this video is why you shouldn't do joint ventures from a financial point of view. Now, if you're just investing in property and you run out of your own money, I completely understand the argument that I found a great deal here and I can't do it because I run out of cash. If I find someone else with money, maybe they can put the money in, I've got the deal, I can do the work, and we can have some sort of profit share. You maybe share the cash flow, you share the equity. That is a classic joint venture. And to an extent, they're good, okay? But I want you to understand and really think about this. Many people start doing joint ventures, particularly when they start investing because they don't have their own money. They learn how to find great deals, which is the most important thing you need to learn, how to find great deals. But they don't have ways of funding it. So they find other people to put the money in. That's great. But I just want you to think about how much that is costing you. Let me give you an example. So let's say you buy a property for, I don't know, £160,000, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to turn it, it's a normal house, it's a motivated seller, you bought it at a discount, it's a 3-bed house, and you're going to turn it into a 5-bed HMO. And let's say you're going to spend £50,000 doing that, okay? So 160,000 is the purchase price at a discount, 50,000 to do the work, so it's cost you 210. And let's say because you're increasing the size of the property, you're increasing the value to 300,000. That would be a pretty good deal, right? But the problem is you don't have the money for the refurb. In fact, you don't even have the money for the deposit, the stamp duty, legal costs. You're stuck, you can't do the deal. So would it be good if someone else can bring in all the money? Let's say it's £100,000 that someone needs to bring in. If they can bring all the money and you don't have to pay it, would that be a really good deal? Well, yes, in a way it would be good. But based on those numbers, if the cost to you was 210 and the value was 300, once all the work's been done, you could remortgage that property. It's what we call momentum investing. You buy something at a discount, you add value, you quickly remortgage to take all the money out. So if you did that, you'd pay off the first mortgage, you'd pay back the deposit to the joint venture partner, pay back their refurb money, you'd have a mortgage of say 210, you'd have £90,000 of equity, and for as long as you own that property, that other person, that joint venture partner, who helped you get the deal done, don't get me wrong, but you're going to be paying them handsomely for that. You might give them half the equity. If the equity is 90,000, that's 40,000 straight away you're giving them. Let's say it's a good 5-bed HMO, you're making £1,000 profit a month. You might be giving them half of that profit. 500 a month to them, 500 to you. That's £6,000 a year you're giving them in rental income. Now, think about that property. That property goes up in value over time from 300, let's say in 10 years it goes up to, I don't know, theoretically properties double in value every 10 years. Doesn't happen every 10 years, that is an average, but that's the theory. Let's say it goes up to, I don't know, 600,000. So from 300 up to 600 in 10 years. It's perfectly possible. So there's £300,000 of extra equity, which by the way, you're going to share with a joint venture partner. So hang on a minute. When you did the deal, it was 210. Buy for 160, spend 50 on it, 210, and the value was 300. So there's £90,000 of equity, 45,000 each. And then over 10 years, it's gone up in value from 300 up to 600. That's a £300,000 profit, half of which you're giving to your joint venture partner. So that's another 150,000 you're giving them in equity. So far, they've got £190,000 of profit, and they've had all their money back when you refinance the property. Plus, each month you're giving them £500, £6,000 a year for 10 years, that's another £60,000. So you doing a joint venture with this other person will have cost you over £250,000 by doing a joint venture. Now, You could argue, yes, but I didn't have the money, and I wouldn't have done the deal, and I've also had £500 a month. I've also had the equity growth. That's all true. But instead, you could have done a private loan. You could have found someone who had some money, you borrowed it from them. You've got to know them, they've got to like you and trust. You've got to be careful when you're using other people's money, but you put it into the deal, you pay them an interest rate, which by the way, you could pay from the rental income, and then you refinance it to give their money back. Once they get the money back, the interest stops. The reason I say don't do joint ventures is because you are committing to work with that person for 5, maybe 10 years, and you're giving away a huge amount of profit. In some circumstances, yes, joint ventures can be great. You get some profit rather than no profit. But the message I'm trying to get across to you is rather than do joint ventures, which people do because they can, because they're easy, put a bit more effort in and find people who'll just lend you the money. Now you might think, well, who's going to lend me money? Look, there are so many people with money in the bank right now. It's doing nothing for them. And actually by borrowing their money, not only are you being helped, but you are helping them get a much better return on their investment. Now, you might not like the idea of going to ask for money. No one likes the idea of going cap in hand, asking for money, but there are ways you can do it so that people actually want to give money to you and that you never have to ask anyone for money. They actually come to you wanting to invest with you. Now, that's a bit more advanced, and I've actually got some training all about that. I've got some free online training. If this has been of interest to you and you realize, actually, yeah, I like JVs, or I'm doing JVs, I didn't realize how much it was costing me, maybe you should think about doing private loans. So in that case, click on the link below in the description, come and join me for some online training, more about how you could do private loans instead of doing joint ventures. If you want to step up to the next level of success in your property journey, you need to move away from doing joint ventures into doing private loans where you own the entire asset and you're just giving someone an interest rate for the money they're paying to you. So I do hope this has been useful, and please do comment below if you want. I love to see comments. If you like the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, it means you're not going to miss any of these. We put new content out every single week. I don't want to miss any of these valuable videos. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, come and join me with the online training. So look in the description below right now, come and click on that, register, and come and join me for this online training all about how you can raise private finance instead of doing joint ventures where you're giving away half of your profit. You're costing yourself an absolute fortune by doing that. So my name's Simon Zutshi. As ever, I'd like to encourage you to invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I'll see you soon.